Are you feeling totally buried under this constant avalanche of new AI tools? Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise and show you how to get from feeling overloaded to building a really focused, intelligent workflow. If you're constantly seeing these debates about which AI tool is the best and you're feeling kind of lost, you are definitely not alone. But here's the thing. What if I told you that you might be asking the wrong question entirely? Okay, let's start with a reframe. This one simple shift in how you think about AI is going to completely change your approach. Here it is, the single most important idea. AI tools don't compete with each other, they specialize. So instead of trying to find that one magic tool that does everything, the real goal is to find the right tool for a specific job. And this slide just illustrates that perfectly. So you've got a tool like Deep Agents, which only focuses on creating AI coding assistants. It's a scalpel, super precise, super specialized. Now compare that to a platform like OpenClaw, which has this huge suite of different AI functions. That's your Swiss Army knife. See? Neither one is better. They're just built for totally different jobs.
So how do we actually put this idea of specialization into practice? Well, we stop looking for that one magic tool and we start building intelligent workflows by chaining these specialized tools together.
Let's take a research task, for example. You could start with an AI search engine, something like Perplexity, to gather all your information and sources. Then you can feed all that raw data into a model with a big context window, like Claude, to synthesize it and give it some structure. And finally, you can use ChatGPT to refine the language and really polish that final output. Each tool does what it does best, one after another. This works perfectly for content creation, too. You could use a tool like WriteSonic to get a really solid first draft knocked out quickly. Then you take that draft over to a specialized writing assistant, like WordTune, to tighten the clarity, improve the style, and just make every single sentence punchier.
And it's the exact same principle in design. You might use a powerhouse image generator like Midjourney to create these stunning visuals just from a text prompt. Then you can bring that image into another tool like ClipDrop for all the final enhancements, edits, and getting it ready to publish.
You can even apply this to your day-to-day productivity. Use a tool like Notion AI, which is fantastic for brainstorming and drafting ideas right inside your notes. Then you turn those ideas into real actionable steps that are managed by a project management AI, like the one in Asana. It's a really seamless flow, from idea all the way to execution. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Creating these powerful workflows sounds expensive, but the truth is, building a smart AI toolkit does not have to break the bank. Just take a look at this. For almost every popular paid tool out there, there's a really high-quality free alternative. Instead of paying for Quillbot for writing, there's Scribr. Instead of a Midjourney subscription for images, there's Ideogram. This just goes to show that building an effective workflow is all about making smart choices, not just expensive ones. And this brings us to what I think is the most important takeaway of all. Look, tools are always going to change. What truly matters is making the shift from mastering tools to mastering future-proof skills. By 2026, just knowing that AI exists, that's not going to be a competitive advantage anymore. The real value, as you can see here, comes from building real AI mastery through these core skills that let you leverage any tool effectively. So let's break a few of these down. Prompt engineering. This is the foundation. It's the art and science of asking the right questions to get truly extraordinary results. A well-crafted prompt can literally be the difference between a generic, boring answer and a game-changing insight. Next up, workflow automation. If you find yourself doing some manual, repetitive task more than once, you should immediately be thinking about how to automate it. This is all about connecting your specialized tools with platforms like Zapier so they work for you, 24/7 without you lifting a finger. And finally, there's mastering creative AI. The ability to turn a simple text prompt into a studio-quality image with Midjourney or a script into a full video with Runway. That is not a party trick. It's a strategic advantage that saves a massive amount of time and resources. Okay, so with this whole universe of tools and workflows and skills, the final question is, where on earth do you even begin? Well, the answer is actually simpler than you think. The key takeaway for today is this. You absolutely do not need to master everything. In fact, trying to learn every single tool and every single skill is probably the fastest way to get nowhere. The strategy is to go deep, not wide. Just pick 3 of those skills that directly line up with your career and your personal goals. By becoming a true expert in just a few key areas, you build a powerful, unique, and honestly irreplaceable advantage. And that's the question I really want to leave you with. It's not about which tool is best anymore. It's about which skills will best serve you. Answering that question, that's what's going to define your success in this new age of AI.